Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. This is Max Convexity. Thanks for joining me at my channel. It is just after 8:30 here in Austin, Texas. The market has just opened. Let's see what's going on with these high yield funds. Of course, a lot of these high yield funds are tied to the indexes. So we're going to start with the indexes and see what they're doing. Well, just on another note, it looks like GameStop opened down. Went out yesterday at 46.92, it looks like. Opened at 37. It's already back to 39.61. It's going to be a crazy one today. It's going to be a crazy one today. Oh, they had earnings. I totally forgot they had earnings. Well, that totally makes sense. That's why the volatility was so high yesterday, wasn't it? I thought it was just because of all the stuff that was going on with Roaring Kitty, but it's a double whammy. All right. Well, anyway, I said we're going to start with the indexes, and I talked about GameStop. Oh well. All right. So here we have the NASDAQ index, and we actually opened down a little bit from yesterday, and we expected that because futures were down overnight a little bit. So we'd have a small profit right now. It's nowhere, of course, close to having to settle up. We don't settle up to the end of the day. The S&P would be break even right now if we had to settle up, or if Defiance had, if the Defiance funds had to settle up. They settle up daily. Okay, now Russell's a different story. Russell opened well underneath its profit box and is selling off. Okay. All right. Tesla has two profit boxes that are still not maxed out. They have two strikes that have not been blown out yet. Anyway, it's Friday. Max profit for Tesla, if you own the share Tesla, if you own Tesla, max profit on Teslas if Tesla goes to 182. On the inverse fund crash, max profit is if Tesla goes to 171. That's max profit. Both of these funds are still making a nice profit, though. Okay, so now we're going to check out the oil business. USO is a Defiance underlying now as they trade USO options for the fund USOI. USOI yesterday wrote a 72 put. Writing puts is bullish. The market is up. This puts, we're doing well. That's fine. Anyone who has this fund is in nice shape there. All right, TLT is a little bit of a different story. Defiance has a fund called TRES that's a little bit of a different kind of fund. It monetizes long volatility instead of the opposite. All these other funds monetize short volatility, which is the market kind of behaving normally, which is what it does 80% of the time. So that's why those other funds have such a huge advantage, because that's the condition the market's in 80% of the time. This fund tries to monetize the reverse condition, which the market's only in 15% of the time or something. But in any event, we've been watching it closer. They finally rolled their position out, and that's why they have a new valley of death. Their old valley of death was here. The market climbed and got outside of their valley of death, and I think they took off the trade for a pretty nice little profit. And we'll see when we look at the intraday trades. Well, actually, these guys don't give us intraday trades. They just give us I just have to kind of figure it out from the end of the day report. I wish these guys need to give us intraday trades. In any event, so today these guys gap down, but they're right in the middle of the valley of death. So, and they just put this trade on. Now we're going to monitor this trade like this. This is this trade right now. So if the market, right now, if TLT goes down 2%, this trade would be worth $5,700. If TLT goes up 3%, this trade would be worth $6,900. The way this trade loses is if TLT doesn't go anywhere. And unfortunately, that's what happens to the market like 85% of the time. So in any event, this is an interesting fund. I'll make a longer video on it if you guys are interested. Okay, so, but yeah, Tress is an interesting fund. I'll start covering it. I'll start covering it better. But it would be great someday if like bonds went up 5%, or they have a surprise rate cut. That's what you want. That's what you need this kind of fund for, surprises and stuff. Or, oh my gosh, war breaks out somewhere or something, God forbid. But I mean, and then for some reason, well, if that happens, usually the bonds go up as a flight to safety because they're American. It's because people want to invest in America in times of discontent traditionally. But in any event, bonds can also go down wildly too, but you're covered in both events. Tress is a really interesting fund, not for everybody. I always say the other funds, QQQY, JPY and everything aren't for everybody. They're for 1 out of 20 people, maybe something like that. 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, something like that, a subset of people. Well, Tress is for a subset of those people, a smaller subset of those people. So in any event, but it is an interesting fund. Let's look at NVIDIA. We'll check out some of these yield max funds and see how these stocks open. All right, so these guys have strikes everywhere, and they're right in the middle of all of them. They have 3 strikes, I believe, that expire today. This one's maxed out, and so is this one, but this one still has a little bit of upside. So in theory, the stock NVIDIA should maybe have a tiny bit of upside today. Coinbase, of course, the yield max fund Coney trades Coinbase options, so that's why we watch it. Well, these guys aren't fooling around. They got their strike blown through yesterday, and they said, screw it. They rolled out way out here. The $1.86 is how much upside I think is left in Coney. If Coinbase goes up by next week to this, to this strike, it'd be a max profit for this position, and it would equal $1.86 of upside to Coney. That may be better to express that as a percentage, but I was just trying to show how much upside is still available in this position. And not only that, regardless of what it does, this position will contribute 73% towards the 73% dividend. It's just 1 week, and they have to average all 4 weeks together, but that's about what the dividend, the premium this trade is kicking off is. So that's impressive to me. Let's see what old Mister's doing. Okay, now these guys weren't fooling around either. These guys are they're fed up. They aren't fooling around. Anyway, they have plenty of upside on the strikes. I didn't calculate how much it is, but what it would mean to MISTI, which is the high yield fund that I follow. But it suffice it to say, it'd be plenty of upside for MISTI if these guys are able to hit their strikes. That'd be something else. Okay, let's see if it's too early to look at the buffer report. It most likely is. Yeah, I mean, look at old Tress. I told you, what did I tell you? I said they took off the trade for a big profit. Well, there's other people's spreadsheets besides me. I have a spreadsheet. I knew they made a big profit, but I don't have any Tress shares. But somebody has some or bought some, or maybe somebody sees how it works now. It's interesting. It's interesting fund, and it should work like this. It should make money when these other funds aren't. Maybe that's the idea, but that's why maybe it's for a smaller subset of these people. It's more. I don't know. I've always been threatening to do a longer video about it. I just need to go ahead and write the script. Anyway, nice. GPIX is having a nice day as well. Other than that, everything's off. JEPY is off a little bit more than the index is, but it's early. Okay. Yeah, Tress Tress is the standout, and you got to give it to AMZP. Let's check Amazon. I'm going to go back here. I'm sorry, I forgot to check Amazon. I've been checking Amazon, even though I don't follow the yield fund, AMZ. Occasionally, we look at Amazon and AMD. Sometimes I get them mixed up. Okay, well, we've been watching this for several weeks, we've been watching this for several weeks, and it threatened to break out of this bull wedge, but it didn't until right here. It finally did, and now it's putting together some upside. So that bodes well for AMZ. And I don't follow like I said, there's no profit boxes on here because I don't follow this one that close. I just mainly follow the big three plus the Defiance ones. Okay, I wanted to make a comment on SPYT as well. I got a comment yesterday, and well, it had to do with this. And it said, how come you don't have numbers on the SPYT line? And what's the deal with that? Well, they do. SPYT does a trade every day. They sell two options. So I really needed to say strike, and then premium earned, and then break even, and then current price, and then anyway, I haven't figured out how to do that. But also, here's the other deal. These guys, what they do is these guys have such a different strategy with QQQY and JPY. I'm trying to prove to everybody how profitable these are. These are huge money makers. I mean, this is as far as yield goes. Remember, yield's not the same thing as total return, but it's interesting to follow the yield of these things. These things kick off, hellacious yield. Well, SPYT is designed different, where they don't try to maximize yield. So the same type of metrics I'm showing, where I'm trying to show maximum yield and how it wouldn't illustrate anything on SPYT. I really don't know a good way to illustrate this. Because they just plan it where they get the same. Also, there's no guessing. There's no estimate guessing. They pay the same every time. So I'm not saying I don't need to improve it somehow. I've thought about maybe just putting the highest strike on here. I need to maybe modify it some way. I love SPYT. I don't think it's that important that we look at it on the 5-minute max spreadsheet. The things I want to look at is how much premium do we sell? What strike price do we have? What's our break even on the main funds? Because these are the funds where what the market does. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. What the market does on triple QY, JPY, and IWMY has a big effect on the outcome of the covered call strategies and the high yield funds. What the market does doesn't really have that big of effect on SPYT. Doesn't have as big of an effect because they aren't really selling as much premium. They only go out to the market and grab a little bit of premium. So it only caps a little bit of upside. All right. Anyway, I will work on that. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. Anyway, thank you for the comment though. And I definitely like SPYT. In fact, I haven't made any content yet, but about 3 or 4 months ago, I bought 100 shares of triple QY, JPY, and IWMY. Well, I thought I want SPYT. I don't need JPY and SPYT. So I dumped JPY yesterday and got SPYT. All right, I'll make some content on it. So now I have triple QY, IWMY, SPYT. Soon as QQQT comes out, that's a target fund. Same thing, it's going to make less. I'll dump triple QY and get that because I don't need all that income. So I just want 20%, 20% is fine. And, 20% is fine. And it is true. I can reinvest 2/3 of the dividend and keep the NAV steady. But with the other ones, you don't have to do it. Because I got these like 3 months ago. And what do I talk about all day? Keeping the NAV steady and stuff. Well, what have I not done? I've just bought these and let them go. I've just taken the dividends as cash. I haven't reinvested. In other words, I don't practice what I preach. I'm like the doctor who has sick kids or I don't know. The guy that makes shoes, the shoe cobbler that has what's barefoot. Anyway, but I did. So what I did is yesterday I made adjustments to all of them. I bought more shares on triple QY and IWMY to compensate for the losses in NAV, and then I dumped JPY and bought SPYT. Anyway, but yeah, I love SPYT. It's just kind of hard to root for. So we're just going to root for these other ones, or I'm going to root for these other ones. So, but these other ones, like Triple QI, look at this. They sold the 19080 option, which is about the same as yesterday, but they got $109 for it. So look at this. This is a perfect illustration of how powerful these types of strategies are. And also why the way I look at these is good for tracking these funds, but maybe not SPYT. Because SPYT's profit box would be the same size every day if I drew it. See what I'm saying? There's no mystery to it. And it doesn't really matter too much what the market does. Because with SPYT, it doesn't, you just want the market to go up. If you have SPYT, just pretend like you have SPY and it pays a dividend, but you're just rooting for the same thing. You just want the market to go up. It's not going to be up as much as SPY, but I'm saying, but it's like having, you just want the market to go up. There's no strategy to it that, if it goes down slower or something, there's no strategy on SPYT. Okay. NASDAQ. Okay. Well, this, what I was going to show is look how the strike price at the top line. Yesterday, they sold the 1970. Today, they sold the 1980. What determines the bottom line is how much premium they get for the option. So today, because of that economic number, you can see they got quite a bit more premium. Okay. And you can also see that even on the 5-minute max spreadsheet, you could see they got 109 today. But then if you look at yesterday's, they got 83. You could do the math on that real quick and figure that's like 40% or something. It's a big tick up. But anyway, so why I'm emphasizing it is the bigger that's why I call it a profit box. This is all target. This is all a target area for them. If they land anywhere in this target area, they made money. And even if they land above the target area, they made money. Not only money, they made max profit. So you can see that's why you want the higher premium. The higher premium gives you the larger area to aim for. All right, so let's finish looking at the buffer report. Maxi, YBIT, Misty looking good. Tress is the fund of the day, though. I'm so glad to see it. Tress is finally having a day in the sun. This is the monthly chart. This is from last declaration day to this declaration day. Boy, Triple QI was the fund of the month, wasn't it? Well, or TUGN. Or the fund of this chart, this time period I'm looking at. It switches every 30. It switches because it's a rolling time period. But these charts adjust as days go by. All right, guys. Hey, well, also, let's look at how GameStop opened real quick. So GameStop opened down a little bit. I saw it was like a 36 or 37. Now it's rallying back up. I demonstrated a trade yesterday, a 4-legged double diagonal or short strangle with a long strangle swap, whatever. Anyway, it was a great trade because this call was selling for so much. The market was like at 25. This call was selling for $3, like on Wednesday or something. So you could basically, this position, you're monetizing this huge premium out here in a safe way. It's a way to kind of sell that call. In any event, but this call has been blowing through. Sold it for $279. It's at $460 right now. So this position is a loser. But the hedge, you also had this call down here that we bought for $555 that's now we could sell for $11. So that's why there's the big win there. So now watch, this is right now, this trade that I put on, I'm going to make a longer video about it. It expires at the end of the day, but you could see just today, the trade's worth 600 right now, but other things being equal, it'll be worth 1,000 at the end of the day. That's what theta decay is, and that's how theta decay works in your favor. And not only that, it doesn't matter which way it goes. This market could drop 15%, it'll still be worth 800. It could go up 15% and it'll be worth 1,200 by the end of the day. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on it, but I love these kind of trades and I make content about them every once in a while. If you guys like them too, check out the content on them. All right. But anyway, it should be interesting to watch GameStop today. Just because also Roaring Kitty has a press conference at, I think, or he's going to do a YouTube live stream. And I was thinking about live streaming his live stream. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. You guys have a good day. Take care.